Sheldon Cooper's story is not just about a genius physicist with an IQ beyond ordinary comprehension, it is about a man trying to survive a world that was never designed for someone like him. From childhood, his brilliance set him apart, but it also isolated him. While others learned social cues naturally, Sheldon learned equations, theories, and facts. His mind became his safe place, a fortress protecting him from confusion and emotional chaos. Growing up in East Texas, Sheldon was a prodigy who entered college while still a child. This early advancement brought achievement but stole away a normal childhood. He never learned how to play, fight, apologize, or connect the way other kids did. Instead, he learned that being different meant being alone. By the time audiences meet him in The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon is already a fully formed paradox, arrogant yet fragile, logical yet deeply emotional underneath. His strict routines, contracts, and rules are not merely quirks, they are survival mechanisms. Chaos terrifies him because it exposes how little control he truly has over people. His friendships with Leonard, Penny, Howard, and Raj become the slow, painful process of humanization. Each interaction chips away at his emotional armor. Though he resists change fiercely, love and companionship quietly reshape him in ways science never could. Ultimately, Sheldon's story is about growth that happens not through intellect but through connection. It shows that even the most rational mind cannot escape the need for belonging. Behind every sarcastic remark and condescending lecture is a man who desperately wants to understand how to be human. 1. A childhood of extreme isolation. Sheldon was different from the moment he could speak. Other children played, but he calculated. He skipped grades so fast that he never formed stable friendships. Classmates saw him as strange rather than impressive. Teachers admired him but did not know how to nurture him emotionally. Adults treated him like a project, not a child. He learned facts instead of feelings. Playtime was replaced with academic pressure. Being misunderstood became his normal. Loneliness settled into him early. He developed independence because no one could truly relate. His siblings could not connect with his mind. Family love existed, but understanding did not. He felt safer with books than with people. Social rejection taught him to withdraw. He built emotional walls before adolescence. Humor from peers often targeted him. He responded with superiority to avoid hurt. Childhood memories became associated with discomfort. He learned that intelligence isolates. He missed milestones of normal development. Sleepovers, games, and secrets were absent. Instead, he had lectures and labs. Adults expected maturity without teaching empathy. He internalized that he did not belong. This belief followed him into adulthood. Isolation became part of his identity. Connection felt foreign rather than natural. His genius was both gift and prison. That lonely child never truly disappeared. 2. Loss of a normal childhood. Sheldon entered college as a child. He was surrounded by adults, not peers. He could solve advanced problems but not playground conflicts. His emotional growth lagged behind his intellect. Professors challenged his mind, not his heart. He never experienced carefree teenage years. There were no school dances or casual friendships. Romantic curiosity did not develop normally. He learned professionalism before socialization. Expectations replaced exploration. Mistakes were intellectual, not emotional. He never learned to fail safely. Pressure to perform overshadowed joy. His identity became the genius, not the boy. Childhood spontaneity faded early. Responsibility arrived too soon. He lacked role models for emotional maturity. Older students viewed him as odd. He learned to rely solely on himself. Independence hardened into rigidity. Fun felt inefficient to him. He equated play with wasted time. This mindset persisted into adulthood. He struggled to relax even later. His brain never switched off. Normal development was replaced by acceleration. He matured unevenly. Brilliance advanced while empathy stalled. The cost of prodigy status was humanity. He grew up without ever being a child. 3. Fear of change. Change threatens Sheldon's sense of order. Predictability makes the world understandable. Uncertainty triggers anxiety. He relies on routines to feel safe. His daily schedule acts like armor. Even small disruptions distress him. A moved object can feel catastrophic. He fears outcomes he cannot calculate. Control reduces emotional chaos. Without it, he feels exposed. New situations require social improvisation. Improvisation is his weakness. He cannot rely on formulas for people. So he avoids unpredictability entirely. Traditions become sacred to him. Repetition reassures his mind. Familiarity reduces sensory overload. He equates stability with survival. Friends forcing change feel threatening. Yet growth requires disruption. This creates inner conflict. He resists while secretly adapting. Each change leaves emotional residue. But survival proves adaptation is possible. Still, he never stops fearing the unknown. His rigidity masks vulnerability. Control becomes his coping mechanism. Routine replaces comfort. Predictability substitutes for security. Change remains his greatest enemy. 4. Arrogance as emotional armor. Sheldon presents himself as superior. This protects him from rejection. If he is better, others cannot hurt him. Confidence hides fragility. He dismisses criticism before it lands. Intellectual dominance becomes defense. He avoids admitting weakness. Vulnerability feels dangerous. Arrogance keeps people at a distance. Distance prevents emotional injury. He equates humility with exposure. So he exaggerates certainty. Bragging reinforces identity. Without superiority, he feels ordinary. Ordinary feels unacceptable. His self-worth depends on intellect. Praise validates his existence. Lack of recognition feels threatening. He overcompensates to maintain status. Sarcasm shields him from embarrassment. Correction of others reinforces control. He rarely apologizes sincerely at first. Admitting fault disrupts his image. Yet deep down, he fears inadequacy. Success reassures him temporarily. Failure destabilizes him intensely. His ego is both shield and prison. People see arrogance, not fear. He cannot easily separate identity from achievement. Thus superiority becomes survival. 5. Complex family dynamics. Sheldon loves his mother deeply. She offers unconditional acceptance. Her faith contrasts with his science. This creates both conflict and comfort. His father's presence was emotionally distant. Household tension affected him deeply. Arguments created sensory stress. He retreated into intellect for escape. His siblings experienced a different childhood. They resented special treatment he received. He sensed their frustration but misunderstood it. Family love existed without full harmony. He struggled to interpret emotional nuance. Home was not always peaceful. Loss later intensified his attachment issues. Memories became idealized over time. He clung to childhood certainties. His mother remained his emotional anchor. Her approval mattered profoundly. He feared disappointing her. Yet he rejected her worldview intellectually. This contradiction caused internal strain. Family shaped his understanding of loyalty. But not necessarily communication. He learned affection without expression. Distance without detachment. Support without comprehension. These contradictions shaped adult relationships. He sought acceptance without emotional exposure. Family love taught him both comfort and confusion. 6. Dependence on Leonard. Leonard became Sheldon's social interpreter. He explains norms Sheldon cannot decode. Without Leonard, Sheldon would be isolated. Their roommate arrangement provides structure. Leonard tolerates behavior others would reject. This tolerance creates safety. Sheldon relies on him more than he admits. Leonard handles practical realities. He mediates conflicts with others. He encourages participation in social life. Their friendship is unequal but sincere. Sheldon often takes more than he gives. Yet loyalty binds them strongly. Leonard provides emotional grounding. He absorbs frustration without abandoning him. This stability allows Sheldon to grow. Dependence becomes mutual over time. Sheldon fears losing him deeply. Change in their relationship causes panic. Leonard represents security. He bridges intellect and humanity. Without him, Sheldon's world shrinks. Their bond is dysfunctional yet profound. It mirrors sibling dynamics. Conflict never destroys loyalty. Understanding evolves slowly. Leonard humanizes Sheldon daily. Patience becomes transformative. Friendship becomes survival. Their connection is foundational to Sheldon's story. 7. Penny's humanizing influence. Penny introduces emotional warmth. She does not treat Sheldon as fragile. Nor does she idolize his intelligence. She interacts with him casually. This normalcy is unfamiliar. Her empathy softens his rigidity. She challenges him socially. Yet she also protects him. Her presence disrupts his routine. But it enriches his life. She models emotional expression. He observes rather than understands at first. Gradually he mirrors her responses. She celebrates small progress. Her patience builds trust. She teases him without cruelty. Humor becomes connection. She fills gaps Leonard cannot. She introduces spontaneity. He resists but adapts. Her acceptance reduces defensiveness. He begins valuing her approval. She becomes family-like. Her warmth counterbalances his cold logic. She teaches kindness through example. Not lectures. He learns that people are not puzzles. They are experiences. Her influence expands his emotional range. She helps him feel safe being imperfect. 8. Social contracts instead of instinct. Sheldon formalizes relationships legally. Contracts replace intuition. Rules clarify expectations. Ambiguity terrifies him. Written agreements prevent misunderstanding. He believes fairness requires precision. Others find it excessive. For him, it is essential. Structure reduces anxiety. He treats social life like engineering. Variables must be controlled. Outcomes must be predictable. He prefers obligations to spontaneity. Contracts remove emotional guesswork. They also create distance. People become roles rather than individuals. This limits intimacy. Yet it enables participation. Without rules, he would withdraw entirely. Contracts are coping tools. Not power plays. He feels safer when boundaries are explicit. Flexibility feels like risk. Others must adapt to his system. Over time, he relaxes some rules. Trust reduces reliance on documents. But the need never fully disappears. Order remains comforting. Structure equals stability. Contracts are his translation of human chaos. 9. Obsession with order. Sheldon believes the universe follows laws. He expects life to do the same. Disorder feels irrational. He organizes everything meticulously. Symmetry calms him. Clutter creates stress. Predictable environments reduce overload. He assigns places to objects. Deviation feels wrong. Order reflects internal control. Chaos triggers anxiety spikes. He cannot relax in disorder. Cleaning becomes ritualistic. Arrangement equals safety. He equates neatness with intelligence. Disorganization seems careless to him. Others see obsession. He experiences necessity. Routine maintenance prevents discomfort. Familiar surroundings anchor him. Travel disrupts this stability. New spaces require adjustment. He carries habits wherever he goes. Order becomes portable. It compensates for social unpredictability. When people confuse him, objects do not. Physical structure mirrors mental structure. Control over environment substitutes for control over emotions. Precision becomes identity. Order is his sanctuary. 10. Difficulty understanding emotions. Sheldon processes feelings analytically. He studies reactions like data. Facial expressions confuse him. Tone changes are hard to interpret. Sarcasm often goes unnoticed. Empathy requires conscious effort. He asks direct questions instead of inferring. Others perceive insensitivity. He experiences confusion. Emotional nuance feels ambiguous. Logic offers clarity. Feelings do not. He relies on explicit communication. Unspoken expectations frustrate him. He fears making mistakes socially. So he sometimes avoids engagement. Observation becomes his learning tool. He catalogs behaviors mentally. Over time patterns emerge. Understanding improves slowly. But never becomes intuitive. He cares deeply once aware. His compassion is deliberate. Not automatic. This makes his kindness rare but genuine. When he comforts someone, it is intentional. Effort replaces instinct. Progress requires patience from others. Emotional literacy remains a lifelong challenge. Yet he never stops trying. 11. Professional insecurity. Despite confidence, Sheldon fears inadequacy. Science defines his identity. Recognition validates his existence. Competition threatens his status. He worries about being forgotten. Others' success feels personal. Academic environments intensify comparison. He measures worth through achievement. Failure feels catastrophic. It undermines his self-concept. He overworks to maintain superiority. Rest feels risky. Breakthroughs provide temporary relief. But anxiety returns quickly. He cannot separate self from career. Criticism feels like rejection. Praise feels like survival. Awards symbolize belonging. Without them, he feels invisible. This pressure isolates him further. Collaboration becomes difficult. Trust in peers is limited. He fears intellectual betrayal. Yet he also craves partnership. This contradiction causes tension. Success does not eliminate insecurity. It only postpones it. His ambition is fueled by fear. Not just passion. Achievement becomes emotional oxygen. 12. Romantic love with Amy. Amy challenges his emotional limits. She demands reciprocity. Not just tolerance. Romance requires vulnerability. He has little experience with it. Physical closeness feels overwhelming. Emotional intimacy even more so. She is patient but assertive. She refuses to remain distant. This forces growth. He learns to consider another person's needs. Self-focus decreases slowly. Jealousy introduces unfamiliar emotions. Attachment deepens fear of loss. He begins prioritizing her happiness. Compromise becomes proof of love. Affection evolves gradually. He redefines partnership intellectually first. Then emotionally. Trust replaces caution. Shared goals strengthen connection. Conflict teaches negotiation. Support becomes mutual. He experiences longing when apart. This surprises him. Love expands his emotional vocabulary. He becomes more expressive. Not perfectly, but sincerely. Amy becomes central to his life. Their bond represents his greatest transformation. 13. Anxiety around physical contact. Touch overwhelms Sheldon's sensory system. Unexpected contact causes distress. He prefers personal space. Physical closeness feels invasive. Hygiene concerns amplify discomfort. Control over interaction is crucial. He initiates contact rarely. When he does, it is meaningful. Others must respect boundaries. Misunderstanding leads to tension. Gradual exposure helps adaptation. Familiar people feel safer. Romantic touch is especially challenging. It requires trust and tolerance. He learns through repetition. Positive experiences reduce fear. Consent becomes essential. Predictability makes contact manageable. Surprise remains problematic. He associates touch with vulnerability. Letting someone close requires courage. Success builds confidence. Failure reinforces avoidance. Supportive partners ease transition. He discovers comfort slowly. Not naturally. Touch evolves from threat to connection. But sensitivity remains. He never becomes fully typical. Yet progress symbolizes emotional growth. 14. Gradual emotional awakening. Sheldon evolves over years. Change is subtle but profound. Friendship exposes new feelings. Loss introduces grief. Love introduces vulnerability. Success introduces gratitude. He processes emotions intellectually first. Then experientially. Awareness grows step by step. He becomes more considerate. More patient. More expressive. Old habits persist. But soften. He begins anticipating others' needs. Not just reacting. Apologies become sincere. Affection becomes visible. He acknowledges dependence, which once terrified him. Growth feels uncomfortable, but rewarding. He remains himself. Just expanded. Emotional range widens. Empathy strengthens. Connection deepens. He learns people matter more than rules. This realization transforms priorities. Awakening never fully ends. 15. Learning to express gratitude. Sheldon historically struggled with appreciation. He expected support as logical duty, not emotional generosity. Over time, perspective shifts. He recognizes sacrifices others made. Patience he received. Tolerance he depended on. Love he did not always reciprocate. Gratitude replaces entitlement. He begins saying thank you sincerely, not mechanically. Acknowledgement becomes meaningful. He values relationships deeply. Expressing appreciation strengthens bonds. It also humbles him. He admits he needed others, which once felt impossible. Gratitude signals emotional maturity. It shows awareness of impact and connection. He learns kindness deserves recognition, not assumption. Appreciation becomes proactive. He celebrates others' achievements too, not just his own. This shift marks profound growth. He becomes more generous emotionally, more attentive, more human. Gratitude becomes his quiet triumph. Sheldon Cooper's journey is not about becoming less intelligent but about becoming more human. His brilliance never fades, but his emotional world expands. He learns that knowledge explains the universe, but relationships give life meaning. What makes his story powerful is that change does not erase his uniqueness. He remains eccentric, literal, and socially awkward. Growth does not turn him into someone else, it helps him become a fuller version of himself. Through Amy, Leonard, Penny, Howard, and Raj, Sheldon discovers that connection is not a distraction from life but the center of it. Science answers how the world works, but friendship answers why it matters. This realization transforms him more than any academic achievement. Prequel glimpses in young Sheldon show that the lonely boy inside him never fully disappears. Instead, that child finally finds a place where he is accepted rather than tolerated. His adulthood becomes the healing of a childhood spent misunderstood. In the end, Sheldon's story is a quiet triumph, proof that even the most isolated mind can learn to love and be loved. It reminds us that intelligence may set someone apart, but compassion is what brings them home.